Welcome to today's session. So today the question of interest leads given two complex numbers z and w, where z is equal to a plus j plus b, then w is equal to c plus j d, where j is the complex part of the expression. Then find z multiplied by w. So we're trying to find the product of these two complex numbers. So how do you answer this kind of a question? So we like that in this format where we multiply this. Now to answer this question, we use the principle or the method called first outside, then in last. So we multiply first what is outside, then we end with multiplying what is inside last. So the law is, what we do is we are going to multiply, which is a multiplied by c, we get a c, then a multiplied by jd, we get j a d, then we'll go what is now inside last, jb multiplied by c, we get this bc times j, then this multiplied by that we get jj multiplied by bd. Okay, then once we do that, then we need to simplify that. So what we know is j times j is j squared. J times j is j squared. So what we do is this part, we square that times that, we get j squared. So now, according to the principles of the complex numbers, what you notice is when you square j square is basically equal to -1, is equal to -1. So if we are multiplying the square root of -2, we square it, what we get is basically -2. If you are multiplying like for example, the square root of -2 is a complex number, then when we square that, we end up with -2. So this is where this principle arises from. So now what we notice is, because we have j square here, this becomes -1, so -1 times this becomes -bd. Then these are the coefficient, these are the complex part of the expression, then this is the real part. Okay, so next is to collect the like terms. The real part, we group them together, and the imaginary part, we group them together. At the end of the day, we end up with this expression where AC and the -bd, we collect them to group them one, because this is the real part, and simplify then this and that, we factor out the j, which is the complex part expression, then we add these two because they are the same, and like that. Then next is just finalizing that, where we end up with this format. So basically, this is the principle that we use when we are multiplying complex numbers. So for all complex numbers, when you're multiplying them, you need to remember this principle. The key among this principle is this principle that we need. So even if we have j square, it's -1. If you have I square, it's -1, because mostly we use expression like I and j when we're dealing with complex number. Then the other part, you just take them as the normal way you multiply two expressions in mathematics. So for more interesting questions like this, please subscribe to our channel. A small like makes a big difference for us.